Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Isle of Man in the UK. This is John and Mike's MMA Corner.
Freddie Walker, thank you very much, sir, firstly, for coming on, having a little chat with us. You're taking on Austin Childers, and I would say it's a double whammy, this fight. I call it a double whammy because there's not just one thing you can win. You can move on to something greater as well. You know, you can defend your belt, the 135 title, which is a good thing. So that's a defense of the titles it's always a good accolade to have. But also you can move on to the next round of the UMMAF qualifiers to get yourself to, I think it's Arizona the next round is, and then you go into Vegas.
Yeah, which that's a big opportunity too for me and my gym and everybody. So, I've been looking forward to that since Tim, told us all about that. So I'm really looking forward to that one a lot. Get the opportunity to go fight somewhere, outside of the States.
I was going to say that what the UMMAF, what they're doing with the amateur scene, it's great, because like you said there, straight away you get to go and compete in a different state, and also you just get a new exposure to the to the MMA scene. Your name gets out there a bit more, and it gets you a new it raises the level, so to speak, of amateur fighting, because you guys will be a bit more well-rounded, fighting different guys around the country, and then goes to the World Championships. You fight guys all around the world. You get an idea of where you are as a fighter as well. It's a great idea, and I love what they're doing.
Most definitely, yeah, because, that's, the big thing, too, is, going to get to fight at, other places to see how you stack up with everybody else, the other competition out west or, anywhere else around, North America and stuff.
Now, your opponent, Austin, going into the fight, do you look at, or do your coaches even, do yourself or your coaches, do they look at the footage of Austin, or do you just like to go into the fight yourself, not doing any research? Do you like to just go and see how it plays out? You go with your game plan, your style of fighting, how you like to be, and then you just react to what he brings.
Yeah, I'm not too big about watching film on the other fighters. I kind of just always focus on what I got to do, my coaches and stuff, they've watched some film on him and everything like that, but we just never really dig too deep into it. They know what I'm good at, and that's what we just kind of always focus on is what I got to do, go out there and just fight my fight. Saturday night.
You've got Corey, your training partner, on the card as well. Does it help? Do you find it helps having someone who you train with being on the same card as you? You train together. You both kind of peak at the same time, basically. So, do you find that kind of helps because you've got someone with the same mindset as you? Because they've got that. It's a different focus when you've got to fight as to when you haven't got to fight when you train.
Yeah, because I've fought before or on times where it's just I've been the only one from our gym fighting on that card, and this time, I got Corey on the same card with me. So, you said, it does help a lot when you have somebody else, peek at the same time you do during your camps, getting rounds in with you, just knowing that you have somebody that's going to be from your gym fighting with you on, the same night does help quite a bit.
Yeah, I think it helps as well because, like I say, there is different mentality because when you're, for example, when you're sparring, where you're doing, rolling, when you're doing the submission, when you're doing it with guys who haven't got a fight coming up, they're not going to have that slight bit more intensity than someone who has got a fight on. So they're not going to fight back as much. Where you need to have people that have that bit to want to fight back more. You need someone to have a bit more aggression to it, so that you can get ready for when you fight. Because the guy you're going to fight against, he's going to probably fight back a bit more. He's going to be, he's going to be fighting tooth and nail to get that inch before you, so to speak, and get that underhook in before you. But when you roll with guys who,
exactly,
it does make a difference.
Yeah. It does, when you said, you got somebody else that, they got to push themselves too, so you got somebody that's, trying to push themselves and get better through, the camp too, so it just kind of makes you, better fighter by the time, fight week's here, so.
Having the title and defending it then, do you think that you have a bit more of a responsibility as a fighter then? You're not in the pro ranks yet, but do you think it helps build that character for when you get to the pro ranks of that professionalism, being a champion? You got to have a certain mannerism and you got to behave in a certain way. It doesn't just in the cage. Do you feel it helps you outside of the cage as well?
Yeah, I mean, like I think it does kind of help you outside of the cage some too. And I mean, I don't really, like think about having the belt, like overthink it too much. But I mean, yeah, I mean, like I just think it does kind of help, because I got to, kind of, because I'm the Valor 135-pound champ right now, and that's kind of means, like a lot to me and my gym and everything. So
yeah, because you can't. What I mean by that is because you've got this, you got this championship belt. You're the champion. You don't want to go around with a certain demeanor outside of the cage because it can it'll have a bad reflection. They don't want to say, oh, but he goes out on a Saturday night. He'll drink X, Y, and Z bottles of bud. He just swears and he's aggressive, etc. You carry yourself. I think stuff like that makes you carry yourself a bit differently as well. Yeah. Now, the fight against Austin, I think it's, like I say, I like the fact that they're putting this qualifier together because, like I say, it's a double whammy. Do you think about that at all? Do you think to yourself, I've got to defend my belt and I've got to win because I've got to get this opportunity? Or do you just set that kind of, I don't say pressure, but do you set that kind of aside and then just focus purely on the fight and ignore the external bit that are going to come, the rewards that will come from the win?
Yeah, I mean, I've not been overthinking it like too much. I was kind of go with the flow with it right now. Where I've just been focusing week by week, focusing on what I have to do in the gym to get ready. And and I've talked to my coaches about this. If we win this fight, if we're going to go on and fight in like qualifying rounds and stuff. So we've kind of talked about it some, and it does kind of put some pressure on me, but I mean, I don't really let it get to me at all, really. I just kind of, like I said, take it 1 week at a time in camp, and that's what I've been doing.
That's the thing, because it's the amateur ranks. This is your learning time. It's time for you to make mistakes. Time for you to grow as a fighter. Time to learn your style, to learn your trade, and it is just literally one big learning curve. The amateur ranks.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man.
So yeah, because there is a slight bit of pressure because of course you'd like to go and have a good record, you'd like to go and smash it before you potentially go up to the pro ranks, but it is a bit more. For me it reminds me of college football, where college football they do the riskier things, they take more chances with certain plays. They're fourth and one. They're probably going to go for it, and they'll do a crazy little play to make it happen. Whereas with the NFL, a lot of times they'll just play it safe, 4th and 1, we're going to punt it, kick it, and just carry on. And that's what I kind of feel the amateur ranks now. That's what I kind of link it up to.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I take a good analogy for it, I think, too, because, I mean, as you're an amateur fighter, you're still trying to figure out, how you match up with people, what your fight game is, what you want to do in fights, how you go out there and everything like that. When you finally evolve as a fighter, is when you want to take that next step and become a pro.
Now, being at 135, will you stay at 135 when you go pro? Because obviously the weight cutting issue is a huge part of the sport. It seems a huge discussion. They got the IV bans kicking in. A lot of promotions are eventually looking at a plan to kind of adopt where guys can't do big weight cuts.
Yeah, I saw where all that, the IV bans and stuff. I mean, I don't really have that bad of a problem at all with making 135. I mean, dieting, as long as you diet and stuff, do everything like you're supposed to do. I mean, you can make weight. I mean, it still sucks, but I mean, it's like I've never really had that bad of a problem making 135.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if I do go pro, then I'm definitely stay at, the 135 is definitely the weight class for me right now. So
yeah, it's interesting kind of point because a lot of people would in the amateur ranks be usually a lot of guys are a weight class above what they'd want to be when they go pro, but with all this stuff that's happening with the weight cutting sagas, even commissions are looking to stop people from doing large weight cuts with percentages and stuff like that. I think that would change. I think that's going to have an effect on the amateur scene where guys who maybe fight, like you say, you're 135. They're going to be 135 when they go pro, or guys that are fighting at 205. They're not going to go to 185 anymore. They're going to stick at 205 and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, because you've seen already, like, a lot of, like, the bigger name guys have already had a lot of problems making weight since, like, the IV ban and stuff came into effect. And I think since, they're going to be doing, like, they were talking about doing, like, a hydration test the day of the weigh-in. So I think you're going to see that more and more, like, the guys that cut, 30 to, like, 40 pounds to make weight, or, I don't think we're going to be seeing that too much longer.
Do you know what? I'm all for it. I'm absolutely all for it. The most I've cut was 20 pounds in 2 weeks. And that's the most I've cut. And I tell you what, I didn't enjoy that at all. But like Tim Boach and Ed Herman, they went up to light heavyweight. They've stopped cutting now down to 185.
Yeah. I mean, like, you've seen them both move up, and I mean, and like, I think I'll see like a lot of like the other 170 guys, like the Johnny Hendricks, and them probably move up to 185 and fight. So that's all this stuff's been happening too. Yeah,
I think Johnny should be 185 as well. He was always cutting too much, and he did talk about going to 185 at some point. I think he should be going to 185 anyway. He probably should have done it sooner. Because the thing is, a big factor is age comes in. Like Josh Berkman's cutting down to 155, and he even said he cut a huge amount of weight to get to 155 in this
JJ. Yeah, what was it, like 18 pounds in 24 hours, he said?
Yeah, obscene. It's a stupid amount of weight, that is.
Yes, that is ridiculous, man. Yeah.
And the big factor is age. His age is playing against him because the metabolism is slower. It's harder to make that weight come off, and he needs to understand that. He maybe needs to look at getting his weight down naturally and walking around a lighter weight. Because he said, he weighed 180, the day of the fight. I said, yeah, but your body's not going to let you keep doing that at that age. In 4 months' time, you'll be 4 months older, man. He's got to be walking lighter.
Yeah, I mean, like, exactly. That's got to do like a lot of wear and tear on him, like especially with him being like as old as he is too. So yeah, so like I think that the IV bans and everything else is like a good step for the sport.
It is.
I think that they're going in the right direction with it.
Yeah, especially after that the fighter who passed away for that ONE FC card after he weighed in.
ONE FC,
yeah. Yeah, well they're called ONE now, not even ONE FC, but I call them ONE FC anyway. But yeah, I think, do you know what the annoying thing is? In life, we need something like that to happen for action to happen, and it's not what you want, but sadly something like that had to happen for like promotions to really stand up and go, yeah, we probably need to look at this a bit more seriously. It's a shame because it shouldn't have had to happen.
Yeah.
But I don't think they would have done what they did unless someone did die.
I mean, did they say like what caused all that too? I mean,
just a
like,
massive.
I didn't know if the guy was trying to cut way too much at once or what.
Yeah, it was just massive dehydration. Just cut too much weight, because you dehydrate the brain. You take away the fluids from the brain, and that's enough in itself to kill you.
Yeah, I know. That's why you gotta stick with this good diet. Do it right, not try to cut all the weight at once like all these guys do.
Yeah. I think
the worst part of this, man, is like the big diet for me, because I love junk food and everything like that. You gotta cut all that out, They're like the fight camp.
Yeah, man, I'm with you. Like, I can't. It's hard to say no to cake.
Yes.
But yeah, man, I think I cut 10 pounds in one night. That was like 24 hours. 10 pounds the most I've done in 24 hours, and even that was that wasn't fun. My body didn't like me for doing that. So yeah, 20 in 2 weeks and then 10 pounds and £10 to finish it off was the last 10 pounds was the night before, and that was just that was horrible. That, but yeah, it's a situation that's gonna get sorted. But anyway, we're digressing. We're gonna go back. You're fighting. You defended the belt. You got a chance to progress on to the next stage, qualifies to get yourself up to Vegas for UFC Fight Week to compete in the World Championships, which would be a great kind of next step in your career, great experience.
Oh yeah.
You've got to go through Austin Childers first. That's all at Valor Fights. Now, before this all kicks off, how can people jump on social media to give you a follow?
If they want to follow me on Instagram or on Twitter, it's at Namdurf88.
Okay, and what about your sponsors or anything like that?
Just want to thank everybody from Team NKI, like all my teams that been there and like gym every day with me, push me, beat me up in practice, get me ready for the fight.
Well, do you know what? You've got yourself and Corey fighting. I'm sure you guys are going to have a great time, a great experience. And look, enjoy yourself. And thank you very much for coming on to talk with me.
All right, thank you.